What we announced today was a 6 gigawatt deal. It will be, tens of billions of dollars of revenue to AMD over the next few years, and it's really an opportunity for us to even partner deeper with, the clear market leader in AI.
What a fantastic start to the week yesterday was. It's actually been a great week for a lot of our stocks. We're going to cover all the technical analysis in today's video. We're going to have a look at my live portfolio because we've made a few thousand already. Welcome back everyone to Buy Hold Sell. Okay, let's get straight into it. AMD, as you can see here, 31.39% on the last 5 days. But we can see here, this was the big news. The stuff at the clip at the start of the video was what it was all about, 37% jump. And if we just go straight into looking at my portfolio, we can see on the week we're up over £2,000, about $3,000. Lovely gains this week, and we're doing well in the last 3 months. We're up about 6.5 on my sort of swing trade account. This is where I do all my swing trading, and we'll look at my other portfolio towards the end of the video. This is a record-breaking deal low for AMD. It's something that I'm going to hold long in. As I was alerting the Discord earlier on, I was sort of saying, look, this level here, really, back in March 2024, was the all-time high. Now it did reach the 226 level, so pretty much the highs of yesterday, we got to that level and it's been rejected, but really the start of the wick was around this level of 213, say. So I just fancy this level to potentially hold up, and that's what I'm waiting on. And I thought to myself, I'm going to be selling a lot of this position, a lot of my portfolio, sorry, over the next 4-6 weeks, because I feel that we're in for one hell of a market crash coming. Something that we've been talking about on the channel for a while, but it's not been something that I've been bearish on. But now it's nearing that point. I've been dropping little snippets that this is coming, this is coming, this is coming, and we'll be covering a lot more about why this is coming, and the job data and all the information that's coming back. It just looks like the shit's coming to hit the fan very, very soon. But in the meantime, we still have the funding from the big, beautiful bill, the big Trumpy baby pumped in. If we look at this, we can see here, this RSI, massively overbought, but the MACD still shows strength. I just fancy, rightly or wrongly, we can even see in the 4-hour chart, it still looks strong. On the hour chart, we're just dancing along nicely on all these averages. We have cooled off, which is what I feel is what's happening. We're going to cool off. We're going to build a level of support. Might take a week, might take a few days, might pump today. Who knows? But all I know is I foresee AMD being a lot higher between now and the next sort of 4-6 weeks. So I was happy not to bring my average price up by trying to do a bit of swing trading to try and make a few 10-20 bucks difference. I just thought I'm going to hold it and we'll see where we go. But this looks very, very strong. On the weekly chart, just looks like we're about to take another level up on the MACD, for example. Could easily push on to this level. RSI looks strong. Overbought, yes, but still looks strong on the weekly chart. Day chart, cool off. I feel like, yeah, we're just crossing over here. Look at the MACD. We're just crossed over. All the indications are telling me that we're maybe just taking a bit of profit taking, bit of a cool off. Most people that I spoke to took profits, so I understand the process here. But look, bit of volume coming in. People are buying at these levels. People are thinking, yeah, let's load up here. So I'm fairly confident that AMD will hold these levels and will push on, and that's what I'm waiting for, and that's what I'm watching for. But fantastic yesterday to get these gains. I was up over 100% at the peak. This was a swing trade we started back in about April time when we were buying in around $95, $99, all around these levels. And we've done nothing but see it rise up since. It was a no-brainer. I took a lot of experience from the meta trade that we did a couple of years ago when we were buying that around $90. But for the swing trade, we only took out about 40 or 50% gains. It is 7-8x ever since. Bit of that's in the back of my mind. I just fancy AMD to really push. And if you heard at the start of that video, tens of billions of profit for potentially here for AMD. And they are partnering with the biggest AI player in OpenAI. And if you've seen some of those Michael Jackson videos that are going around, this new software that's only available in America looks terrifyingly exciting, but also terrifyingly worrying. We're taking a huge step in the future of AI, and AMD looks to be positioning itself right in there with the best people. So I don't foresee this selling off. One thing that's maybe concerning though would be that the PE ratio is at 121 right now, but not as high as the likes of Palantir, which sits at 600, and that's a stock that I am currently in, and it's a stock that I'm looking to move out of. I've been trimming, taking profits all the way. I've actually got my orders, I think, set on this. Yeah. I'm going to sell 9, pretty much all my position. I just want to keep one on the books just to sort of mark my gains at 100% or whatever. But I feel that this is going to run out of steam in the short term. And I think with the whole 4 or 6 weeks plan of taking money off, Palantir at 600 PE, guys, I'm more than happy taking my profits on this here and fully moving out of the position. So that's another one that I'm moving out of very, very shortly in the near future. Hims and Hers is another one that I feel maybe the steam's running out of it. It's time. When I'm 100% up, I've also taken profits on this. I feel like these are two that I'm going to be looking to get rid of. If they can go to all-time highs, if I can get Hims and Hers back at around $60, she's gone. Palantir, if I can get that around maybe 190, 188, it's gone. I'm betting them two off as soon as possible, really. The other one that we're doing great trades on at the moment is American Battery Technology. Now, in the last video that I did on American Battery Technology, and it probably deserves its own video, but I'll just give you an update on this. We said, look, at $5, this is going to go to $6. There's no doubt in my mind. We're very, very near that. I'm not going to take any profits at $6. I'm just going to continue holding American Battery Technology. I want a bigger position. For those who don't know, I had a bigger position in my invest account of the tune of about 5-6 grand. It's gone. It's completely and utterly sold out, just so I can focus it all into one position. Plus, it's in my ISA, so it's tax free. But this is my position size. It's not a huge amount of money. 1,500 notes, nowhere near where I would like it to be. So instead of selling or trimming, I'm just going to buy. But I feel like we're going to hit $6 and we're probably going to pull back. But look, when you're up 150%, I don't really want to do a bit of jiggery on that. I would rather just let it see where it goes. And if I'm wrong and it pushes on beyond 6, and it might do that, it very well could do that, this could 10x, from here over the next few years. I'm just going to buy on substantial red days where I really feel like we've cooled off and we're sold off and it's a bottom. That's when I'm going to level up. So that's how I'm going to be playing American Battery Technology. But if we actually look at the charts on American Battery Technology, just for a bit of more information, we can see we're starting to get to that point where we're about to cross over. RSI is massively overbought. This was our target level in and around this $6. We might get to 590, 580 or something, but I do suspect that we're going to pull back. Pull back could be to around these levels, 450, 460, something like that. No one's buying at these levels. So if you're thinking about jumping in American Battery Technology now, personally speaking, do your own due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor and all that, but I wouldn't touch it now. I feel like you're going to be getting a pullback, as tempting as it might be to jump in. I just don't see the point. Even if you jumped in now, what are you looking at, another 10%? Nah, it wouldn't be for me personally speaking. I do think it has a great long future, but I'd be waiting for around 450 to buy a lot more, or even below $5. If you go to 6 and fall to 5, I'll be buying and adding to my position. Premier African Minerals, I'm not even going to bother doing a video on it. It's just a CMO story. Further dilutions coming down the road. It's a shit show, just a constant shit show. Not, still in it, still only because I'm so down on it, it wouldn't be worth even in selling it. But it's just the same old shit, really. We're promised one thing, nothing happens, and then the only thing that we're guaranteed is more dilution. So we're getting diluted again. Not good. Understandable, I guess, but not great. All the indications now are saying that we're going on the downwards turn. MACD's crossed over, not good. This is on the day chart. RSI is massively oversold, which I guess could be a positive. That surely we're not going to fall much lower, but it's the same old story. We've been saying this for pretty much the whole entire year. Can't really go much lower in this. We're about to get diluted, so it very well might go below this. We were optimistic that we were in a boom run, which was the case on the news, that we're maybe going to get the machine working and we're going to turn it, and it was a decent enough RNS that came out. Unfortunately, yeah, it's when it fell below. We're back in a bear market, and for me, PREM looks absolutely horrible. On the charts, weekly, everything, sell, get out of it, run to the hills. MACD is about to cross over RSI. It's funny how things can just change, but look, we were promised something fundamentally that just hasn't happened. I'm still confident in Graham Hill, but not a great start to his tenure, let's be honest. Kodal has been one that I have been buying a lot now. I'm in and around a tune of about 10 grand now in Kodal, buying in iWeb to bring my average price down, and I do believe in trading 212. I got a couple of orders through yesterday. Drips, there's it here. It's only about nearly 2 grand of a position here. This is going to be what I'm doing. This is a swing trade account, so this will be a swing trade. I've got my long hold in iWeb, which I highly recommend, by the way. It looks to be changing, by the way. Seen an email yesterday, put it in the Discord. No longer charging a £5 per transaction fee, which looks to be good. But that side, Kodal, Yeah, just trying to buy. I did get a few snipe ones through. I try to do limit orders, but they don't go through. And I'm pretty. Oh, there's another one set to go here. I'm not entirely sure why it's set at that, but anyway, that's a market order. Oh no, that's, you know what that is. It's been partly executed because I wouldn't type in those numbers. Um, yeah, you can drip feed. It's annoying, but you can drip feed some orders, trying to bring that price down. Not a bad price, you know. Over the last month, we can see here we've been at these levels. And if we look at the charts, unfortunately, on the weekly chart, it looks to be crossing over. It's a bit like PREM in that respect. It wasn't in a bull market. It tried to go in a bull market. It couldn't go. It's selling off. But look at this buying pressure. A lot of people are buying. A lot of people are thinking, yeah, this is a good level to be buying at, because we know fundamentally they're going to get delivery. We're waiting on the ship to come. Shipment's going to be put in the back of that. We get paid 95% on delivery to the port. The 5% is on delivery at the other end. This just feels poised to explode. So yeah, look, do your own due diligence as always, but this feels like great buying opportunities here at these levels. Really, really low prices. You know, it's been years and years and years before we were below these prices. Don't be afraid to see maybe in or around this 0.24 level potentially over the next week. If you know no news and it just sort of naturally falls that place, I wouldn't be worried about it. I'm going to continue buying. I'll start panicking if we fall below 0.23. But at the same time, with that fundamental news comes that we've got delivery and this all went smooth, it's going to pop. There is still risks that might not happen. Something could happen, of course. But realistically, it looks like that's just a matter of time and this will pop. And the first place you're thinking is 0.4, which would be lovely, especially if, say, from these levels to these levels, you know, you're looking at 50%. And when you've got a tune of about 10 grand in there with, yeah, you're maybe down, you know, 15-20% across the board, a 50% pump is going to be nice. You're looking at, you know, 3-4 grand profit straight away. And I will trim probably at that level, but look, it could easily explode to be above that. We just don't know exactly where it's going to go, but these are my levels that I'm looking for in the short term, and I'll keep you posted obviously with that when the movement comes in. But it looks like it's all upside from here, so we've got plenty of room. If a pump comes in, this RSI is not going to jump straight up to there. It's going to take its time. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited about Kodal. I really, really am. And these are just the other stocks that I have in my portfolio. Tesla's cooled off a bit. It had a good run, and we can see on the month it's just had a great month, 25%. But on the week, bit flat, cooling off as usual. But TKO, nice long hold on this. It's been ticking away nicely. It's had a great year, 55%. Doing a bit of jiggery. I did have a lot of bigger position, sold some there on the back of WrestleMania and different things. Fundamentally, I know what's going on with that, so I'm happy to average in the position. I don't foresee me selling that in the next month or whatever. Dollar Tree, unfortunately, he's had a bad month, down about 11%. Not great. It was doing really well for me in terms of a swing trade. You know, you were looking at it here going lovely jubbly. Where it looks to be going down to that level again. Still, I feel as a hedge to the bad stuff that might come down, Dollar Tree could be a good one. So I'm not going to be looking to trim that position. This is my AI play. I love this play. It hasn't really done anything since I've been in it. Unfortunately, I've done a bit of averaging up as it's been going on, but look, still decent. Walmart is just a hedge, nothing too major, nothing too exciting. A bit of a swing trade in it. I had sold some, I had a couple of grand in it, easy, sort of 5-6%. Was happy enough. B&M though, disaster. We've been we've been buying into this here, probably because that attracted dividend and a new CEO came in. And if we look at the charts, we can see when we were buying it around these levels, it felt like a 5-year low was as a good entry point. It hasn't been, unfortunately. Over the last month, though, I was green, went green on it, and this level was higher. I was green on it for a bit, and it looked like, okay, maybe we're going to turn a corner. But unfortunately, yesterday they've announced bad revenue guidance effectively. So not a great start, but like, I'm going to give the guy a couple of quarters. You know, it's a long hold, I suppose, from that perspective. You can't expect them to turn in really a sinking ship around. Speaking maybe from Prem's experience, it could take a very long time. However, I'm not prepared to wait that long. The UK economy is a fucking shit show. Really, really bad. Absolute mess. The Labour government have no clue what they're doing. And it doesn't look like this new budget that they're proposing is going to make a blind bit of difference to investment and opportunities in the UK. So when you consider all those things, this might be a position that I might have to just cut the cord on and move on with my life. But we'll see. We'll see. not it's not major money really in the grand scheme of things. So we'll just err with a side of caution on that. Just have a look at my other portfolio. I've been phasing in a lot of money on this here one, but we still have a tune of about 16.5 grand free funds, and in the other position portfolio of about 6 grand in free funds because I forgot to talk about Teladoc, which decided to frigging go to the moon, which was fantastic. A stock that I've been trying to average down on and get myself in a better position on it. It's been a bloody fallen dagger, let's be honest, but very confident on it, really confident from a long term hold position. But I had the tune of about 10 grand, so like I took off about 4 or 5 grand of it. Feel a lot more comfortable with the position, but it's went back into the red today, unfortunately, down about 2%. But I'm more than happy with that, and I'm glad to have finally where that's worked out. And it just shows you if you believe in something fundamentally, you have to buy and average down on it to get yourself out of the woods. You know, there's stocks there that I've been holding since the big bear market of 2021/2022, and I've been holding all that, and it's been horrible. But same with crypto and all that. Experience has taught me from doing this now for 6 odd years. Experience has taught me nothing happens overnight. Don't panic. If fundamentally you believe in it, you back it, and then that works out well. And you know that also is allows me to the likes of Premier African Minerals. I've not bothered buying any in about 2 years because it just fundamentally don't believe in it, and it's been a terrible shit show. The thought process was at the time when it was falling, I'll buy more, I'll buy more. But you know, when you lose the faith in the thing, you can't, and it's horrible. It's a terrible place to be in. But look, I've been able to get myself out of the hole on many other stocks. I've covered all the losses. If Prem was to go bust tomorrow, it's been great. Swing trading has allowed me to do that. Understanding charts has allowed me to do that, and it's been a great experience really as a whole. The whole 5 6 years doing this now, it's financially you can see the positions here. You know there's another 3 months, 5 grand on the last month. You know 3 grand. So between those two accounts, you know you're up 5.5 grand in a month. It's not always going to be like that, but that swing trading, understanding support levels, when to buy, it definitely makes a difference. And with that, the trading course is 50 quid. We're doing it ridiculously cheap because, believe it or not, it's been 5 years since the launch of the channel. Can't believe we've been doing this 5 years. It's been a bit stop starty for a couple of those years, but we're still going. 5 years, unbelievable. So thanks again to everyone that is subscribed. There's only about 5% of you that watch the videos that are subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, come on, give it a subscribe. That would be pretty appreciated. You know, it's good. It helped me support the channel and all that. But listen, this is the account here. This is a bit more of a safe hold, as I said. You get a bit of interest on your cash balance. It's not a huge amount, but you can even see here, you know, all time I've had £460 since April when I lodged this money. I've made £500 from just the money sitting there, and you're getting 4%. So it's an attractive interest rate from trading 212. You can see here AMD again. We've banked a lot more money on this, so we've got our 2.5 profit in everyone, and with 2 grand here. So we've made about a nice sort of four odd grand on AMD alone. Now this is a position that I loaded up heavily in, and I only loaded up heavily in. When did I buy this? 24th of September. I don't think I alerted the Discord, but yeah, over the last while, I've just decided I'm buying into this big time because if you look at it, I thought to myself, there's nothing stopping us from getting to these all time highs. And at 222 to 237, I thought, yeah, there's a good chance for a 10% flip here. So I thought, right, I'm going to pump in 4.5 and I'm hoping for a 10% gain on that, which will bring me to a lovely 5 grand position. And Amazon safe as houses. It's Q4 as an Amazon FBA seller. I enjoy it. I understand it, and it usually does well around this period. So I thought, yeah, let's go for that. That's what I did. Microsoft, look, these are all safe plays. Tesla, Take Two, we opened that position up only recently. Again, we've been in and out of it, but it's performing well. 6 grand. Uber, we've covered that before. I feel like the big beautiful bill potentially could have a good impact on Uber, so we're holding that. It has not done remarkable over the last month, but hope for a bit more, to be honest. But it's done well. B&M, we were green on until yesterday. Shit show. But look, that's another 2 grand there, 3.5 ish across the board. Actually, probably closer to 4 grand if you could the losses. So yeah, I'm over leveraged in B&M, not ideal where I want to be because, like I said, I've been buying the dips the whole way down. So we'll watch that carefully. Not going to buy into it anytime soon. Really going to let the dust settle, and we'll see where we go from there. There's my AI play again. Walmart, Bank of America. These are all hedges. You know, playing a safe, but look at that for a safe play. You know, you bought around these levels, you've got yourself a lovely 10%. S&P again, just a wee grand, just to pick up everything. And in the last 3 months, you've got 10% out of it. So it's been good. TKO, Yeah, the global clean energy, by the way, has had a phenomenal year actually. Well, it doesn't look like it. They're 10% on the year, but if you look at this chart, you can see here this has really pushed the last 3 months. So I'm nearly out of the woods on that. Unsure what to do with global clean energy. It was a hold that I bought originally in 2020, and it's obviously has underperformed massively. It's a long hold. It was a 2030 play. But I'm just thinking with Donald Trump and all the stuff that's happening, I'm not entirely sure if it's a stock that's going to perform particularly well. So I think when that maybe goes green, I might bin it off and move into a better ETF. So you're getting the feel here. You can see there's a bit more American battery technology, not a huge amount of money there either, but a bit of exposure to it. And Palantir, again, looking to bin that off. I'm actually going to set, I've already got the order set, have I? Yeah, 189. It's going to go, bin that off. So yeah, I'm still doing a bit of jiggery on it. I'm not saying that I'm not doing a bit of trading still on these positions, but it's a different type of trade. It's more relaxed. It's not overly exposed. I've got plenty of cash there to buy dips, and I've do a bit of jiggery and sell a few swings and stuff. I like to keep my cash balance in and around these levels, and that's going to probably reduce quite a bit over the next 6-7 weeks. I'm still going to be selling some. For example, Amazon probably strip that to about half once hopefully I hit my price targets. I'm delighted with how the trading's going, and that's not even the crypto account. The crypto account's sitting at about 16, 17 grand right now. We're still hoping for another level on that. So to think when I started all this year, it was a deposit of about 2 grand. In 5 years to grow that to 100 grand has been phenomenal. And when you consider that there's been a £20,000 pretty much hole because of Premier African Minerals alone, um, you know, lessons learned effectively. And that's the thing. People do this and they give up, I find, straight away. But you should never give up on this because it's clearly how the rich make their money. And I've really noticed and they always say once you get your first 100 grand, that's when you things start changing. And once you get to 100 grand, it does make a difference. It really, really does. I mean, look at that. Like on the week here, there's 2 grand in the over account and 1,300. There's 3.5 grand in a week. Now they're not always like that every week, but it was this week. And if you throw in the crypto, I think it's up about a grand. There's 5 grand in a week. So, that Prem, if you think about it, that Prem, oh God, I lost 20 grand. It massively held me back, no doubt about it. Massively, massively held me back because that was money that I could have invested in something else. We talked about Meta earlier on. Imagine you put the 20 grand in Meta and 7 extra money. That was Meta. Facebook, biggest company in the world, no risk of it going bust. But you're looking at a penny stock. Look, lessons learned. I like my risky plays. I'm still going to play in them, but portfolio management, don't get caught up in what everybody else says. Do your own due diligence. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. And I've learned a lot from those things, but that's made me a better investor, better trader, everything about it. And proofs in the pudding, And if you're interested, like I said, get into the trading course, get into the Discord. I'm happy to chat to people. I do chat to people and try to help them because I'm starting to get a bit more confident in myself. I have done something here that most people don't do, and I can help other people do it. I'm not saying I'm completely right in every scenario. I'm not, but um, I'm doing something right. So that's the video. Please like, subscribe. See us all in the next one, and enjoy the rest of your day.